Okay, ladies, we are going to be training on what we call as onboarding new ambassadors. And what that means is when you have new ambassadors that come to your team, we're going to show them how to start off correctly. And I'm going to show you how to organize it and to make it super easy. We have scripts. When this system is used, it's really a way to make sure that your people are being taken care of and they feel like they have all the things that they need in order to be successful. Because I feel like that was one of the things lacking when I first started, is that I didn't have any type of system to onboard these new ambassadors. And so I was just kind of like flying by the wing. Oh, I got to call them. Oh, I got to call them. And then sometimes I would forget, and then some people would fall through the cracks. And I feel bad going back and looking at the people that could have been really successful with doing these simple steps, if I just would have followed them. And I feel like I did a disservice to them. And so I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, and this system is so easy. So we call it the 4 touches. So as soon as somebody joins, what we do is you get a nice calendar. Okay, so if you don't have one that has every day of the month or a week, you get to choose which one you want, but some way that shows what you're supposed to do and what day to reach out to people. If you don't have something like that you can look at every day, you need to get that. Okay, so if you don't have that, that's going to be your next step, because if you don't keep track of that, you could do it digitally, you could do it on paper, like it doesn't really matter. You could do it any way you want, but you just need to do it. Can you promise me that you'll do it? Okay. Okay, so the first day that they join, I want you to write their name down on the day that they joined. Okay, and that's not even one of the steps, but I want you to do that so you can remember if you ever have to go back and look on that. So on that date, you write that. So guys, I have not been great at this, and I'm going to commit like you to do this every time someone joins. And so the first touch, and I'm going to have this all like in a PDF for you guys so you can look at it too, so you can copy and paste it to your notes so that you can have access to all this verbiage. So the first time, so they're going to join, and we can talk about that on a different training, what to do to talk about to people when they join, but this is after they join, okay, that we're talking about. So 4 days after they join, I want you to count in your days. So let's say they join, let's find my calendar. Let me find one, sorry guys. We'll do a different month. So they join on a Monday, 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4. On Friday, you're going to write their name and you're going to write a 1 next to it, because that's going to be the first touch. Okay. And on that first touch, that's 4 days after their join, you're going to send them a message, and the message is going to say, and I have it right here in a PDF. It's going to say, "Hey, Ashley, have you gotten your products yet? I'm so excited for you." And they're going to either tell you yes or no. Yes, I got my products. I tried my pink drink. Oh, or they're going to say, no, I haven't gotten it. And you're going to be like, it's going to be coming any day. Stock your mail. And then what you're going to do from there is I'm going to send you an exact verbiage of how to take their products. And the cool thing about this verbiage is that one thing that I love about it, and you're going to have it, is I'm going to read it exactly what it says, because I thought it was amazing. So it says, how to take your products is what you're going to send to them. You might not have all these products yet, but don't worry, because we can always add them on later. The reason why we say that is because sometimes people just try with the triplex. We want them to fall in love with other products. And so we are lightly sprinkling on things for them to eventually think about. This is exactly what and how I take my products every single day. So excited for you to get started. Morning, pink drink. And then I have like this verbiage of exactly how to take the products. 1, it says, pink drink, 1 balance, and 2 bio cleanse on an empty stomach. I have changed some of this for certain people, because certain people do have specific health struggles and certain products shouldn't be taken at that time. And so that's something that we can talk about for each individual people, and something you should talk with your direct sponsor to help you learn a little bit more about that. But these are very basic, how anyone can really just start the products unless they have specific health issues. I'm not going to do this completely specific I'm not going to say these word from word, but then it talks about water, your products. Remember, plexus heals from the inside out. So if this is a slow process, it takes time. Some people notice things right off the bat. Again, we're telling them like, this takes time. We're constantly telling them over and over again. And this tells exactly how to take the products. And then I would honestly send a video, like a third-party validation video about the products that they're taking and say, check out this video. Okay, that's what you tell them on the 4th day. There's other things that you can add in if you want, but this is very, very basic, okay? So we did on day 4, and exactly week later, so that was Friday, and exactly week later, we do the second touch. And the second touch says, are you getting into a good rhythm? Do you feel like you're taking your products consistently? Are you drinking your water? Are you pooping 2 or 3 times a day? See, I'm not asking, oh, how are you loving the products? Are you feeling amazing? Because if we ask those questions and they say, nope, I'm feeling like crap, don't worry, they're going to tell you anyways. But we're asking questions that we're being positive, because honestly, people to feel things 2 weeks in is very abnormal. Like, not very many people feel like super amazing when they first start. And so we're not asking those, oh my gosh, are you feeling amazing? And they're like, well, I'm not. And they're like, am I supposed to be? And then they're feeling like something's wrong, and there's nothing wrong with what's happening to them. So we're asking them basic questions. Again, I have scripts, exactly what you're going to send them. Are you getting in a good rhythm? Because that's really what we want them to be: consistent, drinking water, pooping 2 or 3 times a day. Those are the things that we're asking. So again, that's the second touch. And the exact week later, we're going to write their name, number 3, because we know it's the 3rd touch that we need to do. And on the 3rd week, we're going to say, hey, Ashley, I wanted to ask you if you've seen any increase in sugar cravings. I remember my 3rd week, I noticed they came back. So we're pre-telling them, hey, I felt sugar cravings at week 3, even though you may not have felt that. It's just like saying, hey, I started noticing die-off. I'm sure you've probably noticed that. And so this is the time they're going to start saying, yeah, I have. Okay, that's totally normal. And it's not scaring them, because it's going to happen. And this is when you address some of their die-off concerns. Now, if they're an active person talking to you back and forth, you might have already addressed those concerns, and that's okay too. But the reason why we're doing this is sometimes, we're keeping track of them. We're making sure they're having all their needs met. Some people will reach out to you, but the odds are they don't. They usually don't say anything, and you have no idea what's going on. So if they say no, you say, if you notice anything like fatigue, sugar cravings, bloating, please don't hesitate to reach out. That's actually a sign that your body is healing inside. And I wanted to make sure we adjust your products so you'll be comfortable if any of those things happen. One of the things, the adjustments, Tava, and this was interesting that they said, which I've never tried, and maybe you can chime in on this, but when someone experiences die-off, what they do differently than what I typically do, my typical thing is to pull back on the ProBio 5. But what she recommends is actually upping your ProBio 5, but instead, whatever you're taking currently at night, you add 1 to the morning time. And so I would love it if any of you guys do try that. Let me know how it goes, because that's something that I would consider trying. Because I remember when I was going through die-off when I was pregnant, because of course your body's all out of whack, I added ProBio 5 to my morning routine, and it was like immediately better. Like I'm talking like 2 days, it was like gone. And so that's something I definitely want to try and consider trying. So if they're at 1 ProBio 5, you say, okay, I want you to take 1 ProBio 5 in the morning with your Slim or whatever is easy for them. Or if they're at 2, you add 1 more in the morning. And then eventually you want to get them all to the night, and you'll work with them to do that. So that's week 3. And week 4, so the next week, and you're going to do this all at the beginning. As soon as they join, you go straight to your calendar. You write 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 4th one, you write a big star. And the reason why you write a star there is because it means that their subscription's going to process within a few days. Okay. And we want to check in with them. So for the 4th, it'll be, I'm just checking in. It says, wondering how you're doing on your products, just hoping again, just if you're being consistent. I noticed that your subscription's going to be processing in the next few days. Are are you loving your products? Do you want to continue on this, or would you like to add it or change anything? And this is when we're going to talk to them about, you're saying consistent. And if they're like, well, and this is when they'll either tell you that they have too much product. And if they have too much product, something went wrong. So either they're not being consistent, they're having die off and they're quitting and they're not telling you. There's a lot of reasons why, but they should be running out of product each month. And if they're not, then we need to figure out the concern and address it to them. So one of the suggestions that I totally loved was when they said, when they're like, well, I kind of have a lot of BioCleanse, and you're like, okay, well, how much product do you have left? And they tell you how much they have left. And so let's say they had 2 weeks left of everything and they're not wanting to order again. Well, we want people to order, but that's the thing, is like, we want to also help them. So we don't want to make them order product that they don't need. So one of the suggestions that I totally loved was, she said, hey, so why don't we go ahead and take some of these products off? But we have this skincare, and then she switches over to the skincare. We have this skincare line that you would totally love. And I have verbiage exactly what to say to them about the skincare, and it's super amazing. It feels like a spa. It's super easy. You would totally love it. And we can get you started on that. And then next time we can get you your products that you need to continue on it. So then they're starting to fall in love with the skincare. And then, they're slowly getting through die off, and then they'll eventually get back onto the other products. The thing is, our whole point is we want them to fall in love with as many products as possible. Because if they do decide they don't like the triplex, what if they love the skincare? And that's okay too. They can totally love the skincare and order the skincare. And they don't have to love the triplex, but we want them to, right? And so this is just a better way to serve them, but also remind them to be consistent. Are you guys getting what I'm putting down, as Genevieve says? So, and the great thing is, like, so say they have too much product. What you would do is, like, if they wanted to start the skincare line with collagen, you would start the 4 touches all over again, but you would do it with skincare. And then you'd reach out to them every week, but then you would also put a star and remind them, oh, you probably are ready to get some more of the triplex, and now you're, because you're probably running out. Let's add that to your order. And just keep talking to them and being open and honest and just having a conversation about them, about what they really, really need. So we are serving them, but we're also, this is our business too. And so we have to understand that too. And so we need to make sure that both of those are working. And so people are getting product that they want and not that they don't want, but we want them to see results because we care and love them. So those are the 4 steps, and I have verbiage for all these things. And so I will put it in our group, plus the 4 touches. I have a PDF for that. So that's exactly how, isn't it so easy, guys? Like, super easy. Like, if we just did this from the very beginning, like, our people would be taken care of more. Like, they would feel like they have someone that's coaching them and helping them, their concerns. And then after the first month, you don't have to touch in with them as much. You would make sure you touch in with them at least, once a month minimum. It depends on the type of person that they are. They might need more help and they still might be healing. And so, another thing is when someone tends to tell you, hey, oh my gosh, I am loving it. I'm feeling so great. This is when you're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. You should post about it. I'm sure you have friends that are struggling just like you. You should tell them about it. We should jump on a call together if you want to start a 3-way message. Oh my gosh. And just like give them that reassurance of like what they're doing is right. And they're like, yes, they would totally love it. And just be excited for them. And still just constantly doing that type of things, where it doesn't really feel like they're doing the business, because there's a lot of people that want the business, but there's some people that don't. So I know, Sadie, you have people that speak Spanish, so you're going to have a little bit different, more fun translating that or figuring it out.
I've been working on it.
So I feel like, I'm not sure if I don't think I missed anything. Other than I'm going to send the verbiage for it. I feel like it's super simple, guys. It doesn't like take a lot of work. And so there's other couple things that I do, like I add them to our informations page and I say, hey, you know, like I do that all at the beginning on the phone call. Hey, we have this group that I really think you would love. It's all about the products. And we have a team page that I think you'll love the community. Can I add you to it? And they always say yes. And I just add them to it. And so, yeah, right.
I'm kind of already doing that anyway, but
yeah. But are you, see, like for me, I was already doing it too, but I was not being organized and writing it down.
Right.
And being consistent with it. Like I still reach out to my people. Sometimes I reach out to them 3 times a week because they're a little bit more, they need a little bit more. And that's okay too. They'll reach out to you if they want more.
Yeah.
You give it to them, but there's people that you don't hear from and you're like, I hope they're taking their products, you know? Like I hope they're listening.
Some I have had a few who just never respond, like ever.
And that's super
it's like so weird to me, but okay.
So Tava, one of the questions that we talked about last night in our team call was if someone gives you crickets, you literally say, hey, I have not heard from you. Are you doing okay? I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah. There's one person that I've done all those things to, and it's a guy.
Yeah.
Never, ever answered.
Yeah.
I just don't know why. But anyway, he's still ordering.
That's awesome. Do you guys have any questions?
No, I'm good.
What about you, Sadie?
You know, I have a couple, but they were more towards the Pro Bio or 5.
Okay, just ask them real quick. I can help you. I think people would like to learn about that because I feel like that's a basic thing a lot of people need to know.
It was more for me because I started on how you said you send a message, showing my regiment pretty much. Mm-hmm. So and how on like day 1 to 2, 3, etc. That one that I got. So I'm following where I'm doing 2 a night. Now I see it it does work. It's been working for me, but I know because my husband's doing it, it's not working so much for him at night. So he said he went back to 1. So it's a little bit different. And I don't know. I feel like now going into like my 4th week, something changed a little for me. Like in the beginning, it's like really consistent with it. And I just saw like, okay, like kind of just, I stayed away from the, scale now kind of, but I kind of hopped on like, okay, I'm kind of like at a pause. Like, am I supposed to be maybe doing 3 of each? Should I try that like you suggested?
All right. Well, actually I'm going to turn off the recording because I feel like that's a little bit different. So stay on this and we'll talk more about it. But I just want to tell you, anyone, if you have any questions after this, just, feel free to ask any Tava, Jenna, or me, and we can help you through any of these things. Okay. So we'll see you guys later, but don't leave because I'm just going to turn off the recording.
Okay.